Top of the stretch. Field of 6 trotters lining up. And now picking up speed. Here they come. They're off and trotting, coming out aggressively. Sterile Bussy and Yankee Casanova going right to the top. Yankee Casanova opening up a 2-length lead. Never Steals Colt away in second, a length and a half back to Noblet's Finale, trotting third. A length and a half back to the mare, B Superflow in fourth. Then a gap of 3 to Randazzo, and your trailer is Pride of Sorcerer. Midway around the turn as they approach the opening quarter, it's Yankee Casanova on top by 2, going off stride, Noblet's Finale. Quarter timed in a quick 28-3. A race up the backstretch. It's Yankee Casanova, tight length. Never Steals Colt racing in second. Then a gap of 4 to B Superflow, and another break of about 8 or so to Randazzo and Bobby Williams Jr. Then Pride of Sorcerer. Far back after misfiring is Noblet's Finale. A continue on up the backstretch. Yankee Casanova leads the way off the half, 58-2. A Yankee Casanova, tight length. Never Steals Colt right there in the pocket. B Superflow, only 3 off the lead in third. Then a gap of 4 to Randazzo. Pride of Sorcerer now makes his bid. He's on the move with 3/8 to go. Midway around the final turn, Yankee Casanova on top, a tight length. Never Steals Colt lurking in the pocket. B Superflow is set for the stretch drive. As they approach 3/4, it's Yankee Casanova. 3/4, 129-1. Yankee Casanova digs down. Here comes Never Steals Colt on the far outside. Here's B Superflow, and now B Superflow charging into the lead. It's B Superflow with less than 1/8 of a mile to go. Now striding clear. A late rally by Pride of Sorcerer. Never Steals Colt on the inside. B Superflow out in front comfortably in 158-3. Close for a second between Pride of Sorcerer and Never Steals Colt. Field of 10 off the turn as they enter the stretch. Lining up. Here they come. They're off. Sulin Dancer on the far outside, coming out aggressively. On the inside, it's Glorious Command. And joining those two, Park Lane Super and Red Cap. Sulin Dancer, 3 parts of a length, now a length. Glorious Command will take a back seat. Park Lane Super, the long shot, came away with a good early spot. Christopher Frost racing on the inside. Red Cap away in 5th. A length ahead of Shamrock Silky racing in 6th. Then 7th around the turn. Sean's closing. Then comes Wish I Was Rich, Comiskey King in your trailer. Jiminy Nugent off the quarter, 30-1. Field settles in up the backstretch. It's Sulin Dancer on top by 2.5. It's the favorite. Sulin Dancer now by 3. Glorious Command racing in second, a gap of 3.5. To Park Lane Super and Doug Larson. Christopher Frost right in behind those two. A length and a half back to Red Cap. On the outside, here comes Comiskey King, followed up by Jiminy Nugent. Shamrock Silky saves ground along with Sean's closing. Wish I Was Rich on the move, but about 12 to make up with a half mile to go. Half timed in a minute straight. A race around the far turn. It's Sulin Dancer in command. Glorious Command right there in the pocket. On the outside, here comes Park Lane Super. Comiskey King will follow up that cover. Christopher Frost saves ground. Also on the move, here comes Jiminy Nugent. They're in the stretch. Sulin Dancer leads by 3/4, 131-3. Sulin Dancer is giving way to Park Lane Super, the long shot, with 3/16 to go. Park Lane Super takes command. Sulin Dancer digging down. Morgan asking for more. Here comes Comiskey King on the inside. Glorious Command. A late rally by Redcap. Park Lane Super and Comiskey King. Park Lane Super 75-1 long shot. Getting up Comiskey King second. Close for third in 2:01.1. Top of the stretch, field of 9 lining up as they pick up speed and approach the start. Here they come. They're off. Mighty Oak Caleb firing out aggressively for Scott Banks. Hector Jester on the outside going right with him, and now Hector Jester takes command of length. Mighty Oak Caleb racing in second, 3 lengths back to Joppa racing third, then a gap of 2.5 to Get Rich Quick. A length and a half back to Holly Hill Flash, Scotty Nippin. Then comes Smiley McGurk, your 2 trailers, Golden Hope Star and Tweeter. Off the first quarter, 28-3. It's Hector Jester out there a length at 44-1. And Mighty Oak Caleb right on his back. Break of 5 to Joppa. Racing third, a length back to Get Rich Quick. Then comes Holly Hill Flash. Scotty Nippin, a length and a half back to Smiley McGurk. Driving from last, Tweeter. On the inside, it's Golden Hope Star. No change up top. It's still Hector Jester on top, a tight length over Mighty Oak Caleb. Get Rich Quick is on the attack, half-timed in 59-3. Hector Jester leads, pressure from Get Rich Quick. Mighty Oak Caleb right there in the pocket. On the inside, Joppa is racing in fourth. Moving up in fifth, Holly Hill Flash. Scotty Nippin still about 6 to make up with 3/8 to go. Get Rich Quick has made the top. Hector Jester racing in second. Mighty Oak Caleb is losing ground. They're in the stretch. Get Rich Quick trying to get away. He's out there by 2. 3/4, 129-1. It's the 2-year-old Get Rich Quick from far back. Here comes Scotty Nippin. Hector Jester will have to do more. It's Get Rich Quick. Scotty Nippin is moving at him. Get Rich Quick. Here's Scotty Nippin. Scotty Nippin now goes on by. A late rally by Smiley McGurk. In deep stretch, it's Scotty Nippin. Here comes Smiley McGurk. Scotty Nippin in front. Smiley McGurk close for third. 159-1. Top of the stretch. Field 5, all in line. Here they come. They're off. Butterfly Sabra. On the outside, Miss Falcon Bowl now leaving. Coming through on the inside, it's Mixed Emotion. Miss Falcon Bowl takes command. A length ahead of Mixed Emotion. 2 lengths back to the gray filly. Butterfly Sabra, then a gap of 2 to Yankee Threshold. Your trailer is the 2-year-old filly, Mystical Mover. She's about 5 off the lead. They race by the quarter. 29 seconds. It's Miss Falcon Bowl. As they race up the backstretch, a tight length over Mixed Emotion. Then a gap of 3 to Butterfly Sabra. Then comes Yankee Threshold and Mystical Mover. Not much change. Compact field of 5 continues up the backstretch. And it's Miss Falcon Bowl on top, a tight length. Mixed Emotion is getting the trip. Butterfly Sabra saves ground third. Yankee Threshold first up in fourth. As she faces the breeze by the half, Mystical Mover will follow up that live cover, half-timed in a minute straight, 31 seconds, second quarter. It's wide open as they race around the far turn. Miss Falcon Bowl leads on the outside. Yankee Threshold grinding out a first over trip. Mixed Emotion right there in the pocket. Mystical Mover poised and ready to strike for Heitman. Butterfly Sabra is pushed back, but only 5 off the lead with a quarter of a mile to go. Miss Falcon Boas led from the onset, still does. 3/4, 1:30 and 3. Pace picks up just a little bit. They're on the attack. Miss Falcon Boas, leg wary. Here comes Mystical Mover. Mystical Mover explodes with 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Mystical Mover now by 2. Yankee Threshold. Butterfly Sabra's not going to get there. It's Mystical Mover in the final yards. Back-to-back winners for Heitman. Miss Falcon Bowl second. Yankee Threshold third at 1:58 and 1. Top of the stretch. Field 10 lining up. Here they come. They're away in pacing. Fax Dash, as expected, showing speed to the outside of him. What a happy fella. It's What a Happy Fella. For Coleman to the top, a length. J Meister comes through second, a length and a half back to Fax Dash. Being raced out of a hole. A length and a half back to HRS Playful. Another 2 back to Fox Valley Rattler. And comes Graziano, the favorite. Right in behind him is Put in Surprise, then a gap of 3 to Elite Nemesis. Far back, Forest Dreams and Cetane. Off that quarter, a quick 28 and 2. This field strung out. A race up the backstretch. Your leader is What a Happy Fella by a length. Here comes J Meister from the pocket. Fax Dash right in behind those two. Then a break of 4 to HRS Playful. A length and a half back to Fox Valley Rattler. Gap of 3 to Graziano. 2 lengths back to Put in Surprise. Then a gap to Elite Nemesis, Cetane, and not traveling very well, Forest Dreams. Half-timed in 57 and 3. Quick pace continues. J Meister has made the top and leads the way. What a Happy Fella right in behind. Fax Dash with the leaders in third, HRS Playful. Now off the cones. Followed up by Fox Valley Rattler. Graziano still a good 8 to make up as they turn for home. They're in the stretch. J Meister leads the way. A length and a half now by 2, 3/4, 1:27 and 2. They're all in behind J Meister. J Meister, the one to catch, leads by 3. What a Happy Fella's giving way. Here comes Fax Dash. Fox Valley Rattler takes aim. Here he comes. J Meister is leg wary. Here's Fox Valley Rattler. Fox Valley Rattler pacing on by in the final yards. It's Fox Valley Rattler striding clear. J Meister holds on for second. Graziano, a fast closing third at 1:57 and 2. Fields off the turn. Phillies and Mirrors lining up. Here they come. They're off. Festino Hanover on the inside. On the outside, Imo Franco. Festino Hanover and Imo Franco. Now Imo Franco will take the lead. Festino Hanover racing second, Corporate Air third. The New Zealand Breds occupy the top 3 positions as they race for the quarter. Then there's a gap of 3 to Pipe Creek Cami. Racing in 4th, Shreveport in 5th. In 6th around the turn, Matching Rectangle Bar will be rated from off the pace. 29 and 1 the opening quarter. Off the turn, they race up the backstretch. Imo Franco. Your leader a tight length. Festino Hanover right on her back. Corporate Air racing third, and now Shreveport with an early move. Here comes Shreveport on the attack. Imo Franco feeling the pressure. Shreveport the challenger. Festino Hanover right there in third, and now Shreveport clears with a surprising move. Franco is back to second. Festino Hanover in third. Half-timed in 58-3. Shreveport extends her margin by 2. Franco. Festino Hanover right there in third. On the outside, moving up. Here comes Tango Bar. She's without cover. Matching Rack right in behind her. Corporate Air being pushed back. Her trailer is Pipe Creek Cami. It's Shreveport at the top of the lane. Franco right there in the pocket. Tango Bar makes her bid as they approach three quarters. It's Shreveport by 2. Three quarters, 127-3. Shreveport is out there a length and a half. Here comes Matching Rack. In between horses, it's Tango Bar. She's losing ground. And now Franco. She shakes loose. She's coming on. Shreveport trying to get home. Franco is bearing down. It's Shreveport. Franco is coming on. Shreveport still there. Franco one final on Shreveport, still there. Franco second, Festino Hanover third in 155-3. That's it. Fields off the turn. Here they come. They're off. Lands in on the inside. On the outside, she's joined by Lake Hills Alexis and Broadway Idol. Lands in on a short lead. In between horses, Lake Hills Alexis now 3 off the cones. Broadway Idol, widest into the first turn, will take command of length. Lake Hills Alexis will yield. Lands in. Racing in third. In fourth around the turn, Quick Cream, a length back to First Pot of Gold. Then a gap of 2 to Hold in a Good Hand. Then comes Lake Hills Tease. 3 lengths back to Royal Viking Queen and LD's LC Trails. Quarter timed in 28 seconds. A race up the backstretch. Broadway Idol in command of the pace. A tight length. Lake Hills Alexis racing in the pocket. Lands End with those two right there in third. On the inside, it's Quick Cream. Here comes Holding a Good Hand. She looks for cover. First Pot of Gold being pushed back along the cones. Lake Hills Tease now joins the second tier. Then a gap of 3 to Royal Viking Queen and LD's LC Trails. 58-2 for the half. Broadway Idol leads around the far turn. The long shot has had the best of this group so far with 3/8 to go. She's out there a tight length. Lake Hills Alexis right there in second, Holding a Good Hand. Inching her way forward. On the outside, Lake Hills Tease following up that live cover. Now tips off Perfect Cover. They're in the stretch. Broadway Idol leads. On the outside, Holding a Good Hand. Here's Holding a Good Hand to the 4. 3/16 to go. Holding a Good Hand has put away Broadway Idol. She's dropping back. Lake Hills Alexis rerouting around her. On the outside, it's Lake Hills Tease. Now Quick Cream picks up those 3. On the inside, here comes Lake Hills Alexis. Holding a Good Hand digs down. Holding a Good Hand leads the way. Lake Hills Alexis lurking. Holding a Good Hand. Lake Hills Alexis and Lake Hills Tease at 158-2. Top of the stretch. Here they come. They're off. Coming out aggressively is Reno Hill. Reno Hill seeks the lead on the inside. Al Kaline moving right with him. Reno Hill now makes his way to the top at length. Al Kaline will yield second, a length back to Don't Walk. Then a length and a half back to Free Society. Racing in fourth. Followed up by Stacy's Orphan and Colligan. And then comes your 2 trailers, Seek and Scan and Be Reasonable. Off the quarter, 28-3. They race up the back lane. Reno Hill leads the way. A length LK Line right there in second. A length back to Don't Walk. Here comes Free Society. He's on the attack. Jacobs sends him after the lead. The power burst. Free Society quickly up to challenge. And now Take Command. Reno Hill will take a back seat. LK Line racing with the leaders in third. Don't Walk in fourth. Stacy's Orphan is off the cones. Colligan right in behind him. Seek and Scan and Be Reasonable. Half-timed in 58-1. Free Society leads around the far turn. On the outside, here comes Don't Walk. Reno Hill racing in third. Stacy's Orphan. Well placed on the outside, fourth. LK Line racing fifth. Colligan still about 7 to make up. They're in the stretch. And it's Free Society on top. 3/4, 127-4. Free Society leads the way. Don't Walk trying to get at him. Here comes Stacy's Orphan. Reno Hill racing third. LK Line in fourth. Down the stretch. Free Society under a drive. On the inside, Reno Hill. On the outside, Don't Walk in Stacy's Orphan. Free Society is still there. Here comes Stacy's Orphan. Free Society out in front. Stacy's Orphan. Reno Hill third in 158 flat. Field of 8. Fillies and Mares off the turn. Here they come. They're away in pacing with Dynamite Springs going after the lead. It's Dynamite Springs, Moonwalk in between horses. On the inside, Delira. Dynamite Springs to the top. Moonwalk will settle in second. A length back to Delira in third. Then a length and a half back to the favorite, Surefoot Share. A Velocity Girl in behind her. Then comes Coming At Ya, Ancient Gypsy, and Incredible In. They're single file. They race off the turn. Dynamite Springs leads the way. Here comes Delira with early pressure. Quarter time to 29-2. Delira now takes command as they pace into the 3/8. Dynamite Springs will yield. Moonwalk racing third. Surefoot Share now moves off the cones. She's on the move without cover. She'll bring up Coming At Ya and Incredible In. Racing inside, Velocity Girl and Ancient Gypsy. Second tier takes form. They continue up the backstretch. Delira leads the way. Dynamite Springs racing in the pocket. Surefoot Share being rated by McGee. Half-timed in 1:05. Delira leads around the far turn. 1.25 lengths. Surefoot Share inching her way forward. Dynamite Springs is right there in third. Coming At Ya, poised and ready to strike for Morgan. Moonwalk is held up inside with the Velocity Girl. Incredible In and Anxious Gypsy trail the field. They're in the stretch. And by 3/4, 131-1. It's Delira. Here comes Surefoot Share. Surefoot Share now with 3/16 to go. Takes command. It's Surefoot Share. Coming At Ya, takes aim. Here comes Incredible In. On the inside, Moonwalk finds a clear lane. Here she comes. Surefoot Share leads. Moonwalk on the inside. On the outside, Coming At Ya. Surefoot Share wins it. Moonwalk second. Coming At Ya grabs the show spot at 158-3. Fields off the turn. Lining up. Here they come. They're away in pacing, getting off to a slow start. Fox Valley Jenkins, Cool Mister, firing right out to the lead. Cool Mister to an uncontested 2-length advantage. On the outside, off to the races. Racing in second, Cody Wood. In third, a length back to Ideal Centurion in fourth. Then a gap of 2 to Big Mitch. Another gap of 3 to Bold Spice. Right in behind him, Bad Seed. Then comes the 2-year-old filly, Tanya Stefania. Pipe Creek Hawk, and now just catching the field, Fox Valley Jenkins after the early miscue. Opening quarter, 28-3. Field strung out. Cool Mister leads the way. Off to the races. Off to the races, off stride. Cody Wood takes over second. Ideal Centurion racing third. A length back to Big Mitch and Bold Spice. On the outside, here comes Tanya Stefania. Followed up closely by Pipe Creek Hawk. On the inside, it's Bad Seed. Now driving from last, Fox Valley Jenkins. 5 in, 4 out as they race by the half in 59 seconds. They race around the upper bend. Cool Mister leads the way by to Big Mitch. On the outside, the challenger, Cody Wood, right there in the pocket. On the inside, it's Ideal Centurion. Now off stride, Ideal Centurion. Bold Spice caught up in behind him. Top of the stretch, Cool Mister cuts the corner by 2.5, approaching 3/4. It's Cool Mister, your leader. 3/4, 128-2. Cool Mister with 3/16 to go leads the way. On the outside, here comes Tanya Stefania. Cody Wood racing in between horses. Pipe Creek Hawk has his work cut out. He's on the move. Then comes Bad Seed. Cool Mister needs the line. It's Cool Mister in between horses. Cody Wood, Tanya Stefania. Cool Mister. Here comes Cody Wood. Cool Mister. Holding on, maybe Cody Wood second. Tanya Stefania third at 157-2. That's a top of the stretch. Field taking their positions and behind the starting gate, picking up speed. Here they come. They're off in the Scotch Treat and Charge It to Cooper. Firing out aggressively, going right to the lead. On the outside, it's Never Fish. And furthest off the rail, Randolph Fedora. Off stride at the back of the pack is the filly Never Jamie B. Randolph Fedora making his way to the top, opens up by 2 on Charge It to Cooper. Then a gap of 3 to Never Fish. 3.5 back to Spitfire Ranger. Then comes Cooper Randolph. Sea Wind Yankee, Gum Corner Lad, and 3 wide. Opening quarter, a quick 27-4. Randolph Fedora on top of this field, a tight length. Charge It to Cooper, right on his back. A length back to Never Fish. On the outside, moving up, here comes Spitfire Ranger. And right in behind him, Sea Wind Yankee. Cooper Randolph is pushed back. Gum Corner Lad is on the move. 3 wide is off the cones. They're by the half, 58-1. And from the outside, Spitfire Ranger takes command around the far turn. Here comes Sea Wind Yankee. Randolph Fedora is back to third. Gum Corner Lad is poised on the outside, fourth for Willis. 3 wide. Following him up on the inside, it's Charge It to Cooper. Top of the stretch, a 1/4 mile to go in the Scotch Treat. And here's the matchup between the 2 3-year-olds. On the inside is Spitfire Ranger. On the outside, Sea Wind Yankee. Gum Corner Lad right off those 2. Spitfire Ranger digs down. Sea Wind Yankee lurking on the outside. Gum Corner Lad. Here comes Charge It to Cooper. He runs into traffic. It's Spitfire Ranger. Charge It to Cooper on the inside. Looks for racing room. Spitfire Ranger. Here comes Charge It to Cooper. Spitfire Ranger wins the Scotch Treat in 157-4. Charge It to Cooper and Sea Wind Yankee. For the stretch. Here they come. They're off. Good start down the inside. It's Keeley's Baby in the middle of the track, both in 10-2. And out it's Angel. Came away well. Kankakee right in behind that trio. From the outside, Ouch It's Angel makes her way to the top of length over in 10-2. Keeley's Baby racing in third. In fourth around the turn, Ancient Rachel Kankakee. Up on the rim in fifth. In sixth on the inside, Hope Scal. A length and a half back to Anxious D. Then a length and a half back to Rock Rain. Nice and Devilish trails the field. Off the quarter, 28-2 Kankakee. Make that in 10-2. Has made the lead length. On the outside, Kankakee the challenger. Ouch It's Angel racing third, Keeley's Baby. Off the cones and on the move, Ancient Rachel racing on the inside fifth. Anxious D into the outer flow. Hope Scal saves ground, Nice and Devilish. Your trailer, Rock Rain, off the half, 58-1. Kankakee now forging her way to the top. After a difficult first half, she leads around the far turn. Keeley's Baby the pressure. On the inside, it's in 10-2. Ancient Rachel moves up with cover. On the inside, Ouch It's Angel. Anxious D. Nice and Devilish. On the inside, Hope Scal being pushed back. Rock Rain trails the field. They're in the stretch. Kankakee out there a length and a quarter. Keeley's Baby pressuring on the outside. 3/4, 128-1. 3/16 to go. Kankakee digs down and leads. Keeley's Baby, Ancient Rachel, far outside. Here comes Anxious D. Anxious D now explodes in the lane. Draws off by 2. Ancient Rachel second late rally by Nice and Devilish. A 16th of a mile ago. It's all Anxious D. Anxious D out in front by 3. Nice and Devilish. Ancient Rachel in 10-2. 158-2.